Hey friends, it's a vinyl update before I get busy with some work tonight. Script reading and plotting out, writing some bass parts. We'll see what I get done tonight. Definitely want to work on the script and one of the songs for Quilt tonight. But I like many of you folks, my addiction runs deep, and I have bought some more records. Not very many, and then I have a few that I just wanted to show that I hadn't shown from the last couple of weeks. We'll get right to it. Oh! Before I forget, I'm not focused on how many subscribers I have, so it's blowing. When it's brought to my attention, I have over 400 subscribers. Wow, people! I'm glad you are digging my channel. I'm honored. I'm tickled. I feel loved. It really feels sweet. I'm just so glad that something about the way that I conduct myself and what I say connects with you people. Thank you. And let's get to the music. Yeah. So a couple weeks ago, I found it's beat, but I've been looking for a copy of this, and I'll buy a nice copy when I see it, but I wanted to get Axe Victim by Bop Deluxe. I have almost all their albums now. I have to go online and do a discography check, but I think I've got most of them now. This is an early one. If not the first one. I'd have to check it out before I tell you. Now, this next record, some of you might think of me as hypocritical by having it, but if you do, that's because you don't understand me. But I recently found this album of, and what it is it's a, what do you call it? Oddity? I believe that's what you call this spiritual ritual of the Hindu religion. And I found this used. Yeah, it sounds to me like it's the ritual of RT. That's what they call it, And although I'm not Hindi, I have studied Hinduism as well as Buddhism, as well as Catholicism, and as well as Satanism too. I've studied that and a few other, and I've read the Quran. I'm a spiritual person, and so this sense of spirit that I get when I hear some musics, in particular this music, this Indian music, I get swept away in it. I don't know what the words are that they're saying, which is good, because I can just get the feeling, I can just get the vibration from this music. So I found this. It's some kind of private pressing, and I love stuff like that. So I got that recently at the same place. I bought this Tubes album, Outside Inside. The Tubes at one time were making some pretty cool stuff. I love the drummer Prairie Prince. He's a very good drummer. The lead singer Fee Waybill is originally from Omaha. But this is just really hard to listen to. It's just trying so hard to please. That's what it sounds like. It's so crassly commercial, trying. You can just hear where it's like, on the one hand, there's creativity, but on the other one, there's this underlying sense of, well, what's going to sell? Is this going to sell? Will this sell? Who will this connect with an audience? I hear that. I don't know if that's really what they were doing, but I'll bet you it was, because it's coming through. So it was, a couple bucks. I'll add it to my Tubes collection. Some of their earlier albums I really like. Some of that early stuff is really cool. At another place, I was very pleased to find this. Vashti Bunyan, Something's Just Stick in Your Mind. And what this is a double album of her, the few singles that she put out, plus demos that her brother recorded of her. This is wonderful. The whole thing about lo-fi and emo when it was coming out was about the intimacy and how the focus was not on the engineering or the craft of the recording, but merely what the person is trying to share through their music and their songs. This is a perfect example of that way before emo and all that stuff happened. Vashti, back in the day, trying to get heard, trying to get her songs heard. This is really good. I picked this up because I had not been familiar with the Blood Brothers, had heard the name Blood Brothers, and I found this. I'll turn it around. It's a limited edition picture disc. And these guys remind me of The Locust, if you're familiar with them. Kind of punky, kind of angsty, kind of wailing, screaming, gnashing guitars. I have to really listen closely to figure out exactly what the music is doing. And when I'm in the right mood, I love stuff like this. I really do. And so, Blood Brothers, what's the name of this? March on Electric Children. I have number 773 out of 2,500. This was a nice find. Blood Brothers. Another real nice find this week. Sigur Rós. I believe this was put out in 2002, double album. Whatever the name is, there's no name on it anywhere, but this is majestic as hell. I have several Sigur Rós CDs and bought their first CD when it first came out as an import, even before it came out in America. I'd been reading about them and was intrigued. And the first album, I was hooked right away. But I've seen a version of this go for $300, and I'm not exactly sure why, but it's a great piece of music. You know, it's interesting how they talk about that they speak in their own language, but to me it sounds like Siggy is saying the same thing over and over again. Isayo, Isayo. That's what it sounds like he's singing on every damn song. Thankfully, the music is wonderful. It really sounds to me like he's saying the same thing several records. Isayo. What does that mean? I took a chance on this. I didn't know anything about him. It was used and it was not too much. It was less than $10. The Rum Diary, Poisons That Save Lives. Well, I noticed that it was a limited edition. This is number, and even though limited editions don't mean they're limited, but this is a 500, number 301 out of 500. I like the packaging. You know, that slides out. Then I got to the album, and it's a nice vinyl. It's a nice colored vinyl. I would call this somewhere between post-rock and noise rock. I've listened to most of it. Supposedly there's vocals on it, but I haven't heard any vocals yet. Not missing them with this music either. I kind of like how it just kind of slowly rolls up to its climactic event. It's really nice. And yesterday, I went to Homer's looking for something, and I was real pleased. They had the new Boris! Attention, please. Which is how Wata says it. Attention, please. Okay. So this is Boris not doing the heavy drone, heavy thing. This is Boris making a weird, and I mean weird, pop album. And I like this. And I think that if you don't look closely, and you'll be fooled thinking that Boris is somehow kind of wimped out. And not even the case, y'all. Not even the case. This is trippy as hell. And if you look closely at Wata on the cover, she's all dolled up and stuff. But what's she holding? Is that one of those electric shock rods? You can see a little better on the back. What is this girl up to? What's she gonna do to you? That's what I love about Boris, you know. Just a slight perverse dark side to them that I like. You know, it intrigues me, you know. I'm not sure what they're on about, you know, but you know, if there is some serious darkness there, I don't take it seriously. I'm entertained by it. This new Boris is really good. It's a great package too. There's a big poster with it, download card, lyric sheet. Boris is a badass band. A couple things that I wanted to show related to some other people's videos. I happened to watch, forget his name, but a fella from New Zealand's been showing almost primarily New Zealand records, which you don't see too much. But a few years ago, I noticed them in one of the stores, and they weren't selling, so they marked them down, and so I bought a bunch, and I'm glad I did. This is one of them, Pop Lib by the Puddle. And this appears to be one of the first records put out on the Flying Nun label, which I just love the label Flying Nun. This is really amateurish sounding, okay? Like these folks can barely play. When I listen past that, the word that comes to mind right away is charming. This music and the whole vibe here is charming. This is just cool. The Puddle. Something else that I just for some reason pulled out because I hadn't listened to it for a while. Still can't tell anything about the band, but it's Terminal Cheesecake. And if anybody knows anything about this band, leave me a comment. But it's a British band, I think. I think this was made in either the 90s or Excuse me, I'm blind, y'all. I have to put my glasses on to see any damn thing. And I don't see a date on here, so I can't tell you. But this is noisy and kind of bludgeoning, but weird. I like weird, guys. I like music, frankly. I like music that when I hear it at first, I'm not sure what I'm hearing. I like it when it's like that and it makes me want to hear some more as opposed to just being like, I don't know what's going on here and this is just shit, because that happens sometimes. It's like, this is just a mess, or this is just really badly played, or just really not inspired. This drew me in. So I wanted to show this Terminal Cheesecake that I've been listening to. Let me see if I can just pull something else right quick well, here's something that I had put in my for sale pile, and I've been reassessing my entire collection, as far as things that I'm ready to sell, and this is called the Mobile Whorehouse. And when I put it up for sale, the mood I was in just was an unforgiving mood, which was kind of, it sucks, get rid of this. So I play it this time, and it's like, okay, this is, I'm not sure what's going on here, but this is kind of cool in a dark way, kind of heavy. So once again, if there's any fans out there or people who like this band can tell me about the Mobile Whorehouse, I'd love to know more about them. So I'm just going to do this quick one right now, and I will not rant about anything here at the end. I am not going to apologize for my rants. The only thing I'm sorry about is if I'm not understood. I'm sorry you don't understand me, but I'm not sorry for what I've said. But it's really mostly about the music. And with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and edit this, put some music on it, post it so I can get to work. Everyone be well. I hope you have lots of love in your life. I hope that you're fulfilled somehow in your lives. Whatever you're doing or not doing, I hope it fulfills you. And know that you have a friend here. I'm not in your city to be there to sit with you and listen to records. I'd like to. Many of you folks, I really would. It'd be so much fun to just sit down and hang out with you. So have a good night and day whenever you see this, and I will be back.